Hello everyone, my name is Jimmy and welcome to The Last Lap. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about everything we saw from Pocono. But before we hop into the video, I just want to quickly remind you guys, hit that like button and subscribe button. We greatly appreciate if you did that. And you can also check out our social media pages, which will be linked down below. But let's go ahead and hop into the video. Matthew, my friend and co-host, is joining me as always. And I am just coming back. So the day of the race, I'm coming back from a church camp. That was really fun. My voice is a tiny bit shot, so if I sound a little bit off, that's why. I'm really tired. And then next week, I'm going out of town again, so I don't even know if we're going to be able to do a Richmond review video. So summer's here, lots of crazy travel stuff going on for me personally. But Matthew, how you doing? How you feel to be back on the show and talk about everything we saw from Pocono?
Well, you better wake yourself up here because we got a lot to discuss. Because there was a lot to discuss from this race today. And first and foremost, how about that Rowdy Nation in a truck series style? I don't go too crazy about the truck races that he wins, but this one was very special because this was Kyle Busch's Kyle Busch Motorsports 100 Truck Series win, which that is very special, especially to Kyle because he's had this Truck Series program for like 13 years now, and he's hit the 100 win mark in the Truck Series as an owner. And of course, we have drivers in the Cup Series that were from that development program, like Christopher Bell, William Byron, Eric Jones, just to name off a few. But I just want to say that real quick. You know, amazing accomplishment. And yeah, let's get right into what was a crazy day.
Alright, so honestly, I might not even do like a race recap for you guys because there was so much drama that went on. So I honestly might just go over that in a top 10 and call it a day. Uh, but yeah, there were like 4 or 5 different incidents on the track today where drivers were very frustrated with each other. I'll start off with like a questionable one that may or may not have had some type of drama to it, but Ty Dillon looked like he kind of spun out Chase Briscoe on purpose in turn 3, but they never, at least I don't think they ever did. They never like went back and tried to find something earlier in the day where they may have been upset with each other. So I'm gonna put just a question mark next to that one, just because we're not sure if anything led up to that. But it looked like Ty Dillon spun him out on purpose. Um, another incident, drama that we had going on was between Austin Dillon and Tyler Reddick. So they were 3 wide going into turn 1. Austin Dillon was in the middle. Tyler Reddick was on the inside. Brad Keselowski was on the outside. Austin Dillon tried to basically clear Tyler Reddick on the bottom and ended up, it looks like, spinning himself out. Like everybody's saying, it looked like he spun himself out. He ends up hitting the wall pretty hard, ending his day. And then he gets out of the car and seems frustrated with Tyler Reddick for some reason. And then he pulls the old Tony Stewart from Bristol, takes the helmet off, attempts to chuck it at Tyler Reddick and misses. But yeah, that whole thing, I don't know why Austin Dillon was mad. It seemed like he basically wrecked himself, and then so that was the first mistake. He wrecked himself. Then he throws his helmet and misses Tyler Reddick, and then it looked like 1 or 2 cars like almost ran over his helmet. So he probably lost his helmet too. So 3 strikes and you're out for Austin Dillon. That was a pretty funny incident there. Another one was Denny Hamlin and Alex Bowman. It was in turn 3. Denny Hamlin, it seemed like from the replay that he just got the air taken off of Alex Bowman's car and he ended up spinning around. And Alex Bowman sounded pretty frustrated. It sounded like he thought that Denny Hamlin touched him, but it didn't look like he did there. So that was another incident where drivers are mad at each other. And then so on the final lap, why am I blanking? I have it really. Ryan Preece, he spun out in the tunnel turn off of that corner, and he was very upset with Corey LaJoie. There's a clip of him getting out of his car on pit road, running down to Corey LaJoie's car and saying a bunch of beeps, bops, and boops into his window. So that was another incident. And then obviously we have the big incident that we'll talk about probably for the most of this episode between Kyle Larson and Denny Hamlin. So there was a late race restart. I forget how many laps ago, but Kyle Larson and Denny Hamlin, they were both on the outside lane. Denny Hamlin pushed Kyle Larson clear of, I think it was Martin Truex at the time. Then Denny Hamlin made a move to the inside and attempted to pass Kyle Larson in turn one. And Kyle Larson kind of missed the corner, so he was already kind of high. But Denny Hamlin started to go up the racetrack, and then it looks like they make contact, not even coming off of the corner. And then Kyle Larson ends up hitting the wall off of turn one, and then that pretty much ends Kyle Larson's day. It looks almost identical to exactly what Denny Hamlin did to Ross Chastain last year at Pocono, and we all know that was probably intentional, even though Denny wouldn't admit it. But yeah, Kyle Larson was not happy. The caution ended up coming out, and he ended up going up to Denny Hamlin under caution and giving him a little side swipe at the start finish line. Denny Hamlin will go on to win the race, his 50th Cup win, his 7th at Pocono, and Toyota's 600th win across all three series. So quite an achievement for Denny Hamlin.
And by the
But a
way,
lot of people were not happy.
he did pass post race tech this time, so no surprise episode unlike last year.
Yeah, he did
No
pass
surprise
post race
update.
inspection this time. So yeah, I think we both made sure that he passed post race inspection this time, so we didn't have any crazy news to break right when the video started. But yeah, Denny Hamlin did end up getting this win. He earned it. Um, Gosh, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, a lot of people were not happy with how this ended up happening. Obviously, Kyle Larson, very popular driver, um, and Denny Hamlin has been known the past few years to be very aggressive with drivers and really not care what anybody has to say about it. Um, but I don't know, like this is probably gonna get said by everybody on YouTube, social media, whatever. But obviously, I think it's kind of dirty that Denny Hamlin did that. It's the second time this year Denny Hamlin has done something like this to Kyle Larson. He did it at Kansas on the final lap down the backstretch. He kind of, I mean, that wasn't like dirty. It was just kind of a mistake on Denny Hamlin's part. And then obviously what happened on Sunday at Pocono, he just kind of runs Kyle Larson up the track and runs into him and hits him in the wall. Well, it causes Larson to hit the wall. But yeah, I don't know. Like, Larson hasn't done anything wrong to Denny Hamlin. They're friends off the track, and Denny just goes out there and races him super hard and aggressive and just throws him in the wall. But, like, he gets upset when people race him dirty. At the same time, like, he cries about it as well. So I'm like, if you're going to be able to race hard around people, you got to expect to get race hard back. And I heard from Kyle Larson and Austin Dillon today that, they just want to go out there and race people really hard and not give a care anymore. And well, Austin Dillon said he has to go out there and wreck people, which is not right. But Kyle Larson said that he probably just needs to start racing Denny harder because he has to earn that respect back by racing him hard. But honestly, I don't really have too much to say about it. But yeah, there was a lot of drama that went on today. Uh, I think Denny is a little bit on the wrong end. I saw Bob Pockers. He said he thought it was fair, like barely like fair, like almost over the line of not fair. And I kind of agree. I get it. You're racing for the win. The final few laps, respect has kind of gone out the window in the final 10 laps of any NASCAR race in the past few years. So I guess in today's standards, I guess it was fair, but almost over the line. At the same time, though, Kyle Larson did finish like 21st, so his car was actually damaged and he couldn't continue the race. But let me quickly go over the top 10 and then I'll toss it over to Matthew. So they'll be on the screen for you guys. A lot of Toyotas in the top 10. Ty Gibbs with the top 5. Great run for him. We got Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Harrison Burton, and Eric Jones. 3 names down there near the bottom that we usually don't see in the top 10. So great runs for those guys. But that's going to wrap it up for pretty much all I have to say about the race from Pocono. Matthew, what do you have to say about everything that you saw and all of this drama that was going on during the race at Pocono?
To quote Mike Joy, from quite a long time ago, it seems like we had cars overheated, we had drivers overheated, and that was pretty much the statement of what this race was today. Because there were so many drivers today that were literally pissed off today. Um, First and foremost, what an amazing race it was! I mean, what a great race it was today. I mean, there's a reason why that stands were sold out today, full pack grandstand because there was a lot of action today and a lot of drama. So the first one, like you said, the whole Ty Dillon Chase Briscoe thing, that one's a bit confusing, but to me that looked very intentional. And I hope NASCAR is looking at the SMT data, and if that is true, he'll be suspended for next weekend, which I mean, it's Ty Dillon. He's not. They're not gonna miss much compared to Chase Elliott. So yeah, I mean, we'll see if the S&T data shows that he did. But other than that, don't know what led to that. But okay, now on to the other Dillon here, which was ironic. Ironically, the former teammates from last year, Tyler Reddick and Austin Dillon. Austin Dillon is continuing to embarrass this RCR organization this year. I mean, my man Kyle Busch is having to carry this whole organization while this dude here is sitting 25th every race. And then every time he wrecks himself, oh, he wrecked me intentionally. Are you kidding me? Listen, he came down on Tyler Reddick and wrecked himself. And not only that, he embarrassed himself even more with what has to be the worst helmet throw I've ever seen in NASCAR. I mean, it hit the ground first. It missed completely. This man is no Patrick Mahomes at all, but so I'm glad Austin Dillon's not an NFL quarterback here. But I mean, just absolutely embarrassing. I mean, he did the same thing in Gateway when Cindric got in, well, he wrecked himself on Cindric at Gateway, and he was like, "Oh, he wrecked me intentionally. You better suspend him." I mean, it's just embarrassing. I mean, I wish Austin Hill would just take over that ride instead next year. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm glad was the one that brought Kyle Busch, but guess what? We're talking about what he's doing on the track, and what he's doing on the track is absolutely ridiculous, especially when you compare it to his teammate with 3 wins and multiple top five and top tens. Meanwhile, this dude here is sitting like 20th every race. It's just ridiculous. So yeah, Austin Dillon absolutely embarrassed himself today. I am glad he's okay though, because that was a very hard hit, but he still embarrassed himself. Okay, now on to Hamlin Bowman, which I don't know why we're even talking about this. Hamlin did not wreck him at all in this one. It was literally the air that made Bowman's car loose, and of course, I mean, no, I mean that's all I'll say. I mean, that was not he didn't wreck him there. He just got the air on him. Okay, now we're going to get into pretty much the one that everyone's going to be talking. Oh wait, there's one more. Ryan Preece and Corey LaJoy. And I was wondering why Ryan Preece spun out on that overtime restart. Well, no, 2 laps to go. Apparently, Corey LaJoy got into him, and Ryan Preece was not happy, which I understand. But one, Corey LaJoy is still in his car, which that's kind of you know a BS move there. I mean, we saw Clint Boyer do the same thing at the All Star race in 2019 against Ryan Newman, when Clint Boyer was like a rocket socket robot there. Which I was there for that race, and that was I didn't think that was real. I saw that on the big screen and on the backstretch, but yeah, that was pretty much similar to that, and that wasn't the best thing to do there. I mean that looks weak when you're trying to fight someone with someone still sitting in their car there. So kind of weak. Okay, now let's get into the one that everyone's gonna be talking about like all week long here. Um, this move was literally the exact same way that Hamlin did to Ross Chastain last year. Now, that one last year, I think we really understand why he did that because Ross Chastain last year was being kind of careless and he wrecked Hamlin like a couple times already that year and Hamlin had enough. I'm like, okay, I'll do what you've been doing. I'm gonna give you a taste of your own medicine. And yeah, we did understand that. Even though after a post race tag that didn't really matter anymore, but you get the point. Um, but this one was a little bit out of bounds because Kyle Larson hasn't done anything to Hamlin. I mean, I know they had the last lap finish at Kansas, but to be honest, I don't think that was Hamlin's fault. I'll continue to stick on that. I know Larson got loose on that turn, overcorrected it, hit the wall, but that's I will continue to stick on that road. But this one I do not get. I mean, I don't know if they had a run in the middle of the race that we don't know about, but I mean, it's clear as day. Hamlin just put him in the wall. I mean, exact same thing as last year of Ross. Um, Now, thankfully for I mean, I think Hamlin should be thankful that Larson did not lose his head and wrecked him on the fastest part of the straightaway at Pocono. Like a certain someone, but yeah, at least Larson kept his cool on that one, and showed his displeasure after caution, during the caution period. So, I mean, yeah, that's on Hamlin on that one. I mean, I don't quite understand that move, and it was so funny when he was crossing the finish line, you just hear the crowd just going at it, and you see people throwing bottles and cans out there. Which look, I get you don't like the guy, but come on, that is so stupid if you actually do that because I mean you don't want one of those cans like hitting someone that's on the track. I'm not maybe not Hamlin, but like who who's who does the NBC interviews for Victory Lane? Do you know his name again?
No,
Is it
I don't know.
Marty Snyder? I think, or
Yeah,
is it Dave Burns?
maybe I don't know. It might change every few. I don't know. I feel like it's Marty Snyder. I could be wrong. Where, but
But
yeah.
well, imagine if one of those cans hit him. That wouldn't be a good look. So I I mean, you can boo, you can blow your middle fingers up. Just be aware of the kids in the crowd, but just don't throw beer cans on the track. I mean that's kind of a cheap move in my opinion, and also kind of dangerous as well. If you hit at least some innocent guy that's on the ground there on the track there, but yeah, what an interesting race it was. Um, I mean, it was very interesting with the drama, with the amazing racing there was, with the different strategies. What a race! And yeah, I think this is the most drama we had since man, what like the Indy Road Course last year or something like that. I don't know, but what a race it was, and yeah, I I think that's all I have.
Yeah, like the one thing I don't get about Denny Hamlin in the past probably calendar year or so is so like back at the Coke 600 when him and Chase Elliott got into it. I know Chase Elliott, he crossed the line when he retaliated and stuff, but Denny Hamlin, he did what he did to Kyle Larson to Chase Elliott like twice in that race before Chase retaliated to him, and now he does it again here at Pocono with Kyle Larson. And like these drivers have learned over the past year and a half with this next gen car that when you're on the bottom, your car gets super tight and you just wash up the track. And I guess they just say screw it, screw the guy on my outside. I'm gonna make him lift, and Denny's done that a few times. So I don't know. Denny Hamlin said that Kyle Larson races dirty and puts people in tough spots. I think Denny is just doing the same thing as Kyle Larson is, in my opinion. And like, if if he makes a mistake, he doesn't even apologize for it. Like this one was like actually a mistake, and he didn't say sorry. And he said they didn't even touch. Denny, he's in his post race interview and in the media center. Denny Hamlin is saying they did not touch. Did, Matthew, did they touch? Please, did they touch?
Well, the Bowman one, no, but the Larson one, absolutely.
Yeah, that's the one I'm referring to. And Denny Hamlin's like, "Oh, we didn't touch. I gave him a lane." And he did give him a lane after
Hey,
he hit
you
him,
know
but
he's got his own podcast show now. He's trying to get them clicks. He's trying to get them
golly
views, and
day.
that's one way to get your views in is by doing controversial stuff.
I kind of wish that we recorded this after, like Monday night after we listened to Actions Instrumental. But either way, like that'll be a fun listen. But yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. Like Denny, if you make a mistake, just own up to it. Like he says on his podcast all the time that he's like honest with himself. If he makes mistakes, well, he better be honest tomorrow. He better look at that footage and be like, oh, we did actually make contact. But I don't know, Denny. Like I love Denny as a driver and as a guy, but the past year when he's gotten into stuff with certain drivers, I'm just like, it just grinds my gears. But anyways, let's look at the point standings real quick, and then we will rate this race. As far as the cut line goes, Harvick, Keselowski, and Buescher, they're still plus over 100, so they're good as of now. Unless we get a new winner, then that might change things up. Bubba Wallace and Michael McDowell are above the cut line, plus 27 and plus 17. And then Allmendinger and Suarez are below the cut line as well, minus 17, minus 23. Ty Gibbs is minus 28, and then Bowman and Elliott are both over 40 points below the cut line. And Chase Elliott was like minus 60 coming into this race, and now he's minus 56. He only gained 4 points and got a top 10. So I think Chase's options of getting into the playoffs are must win at this point, and I'm going to stand by what I said. I don't know if it's last week or the week before, but I think Watkins Glen is probably his best opportunity to get a win and punch his ticket into the playoffs.
Hmm.
But that's pretty much it for the playoff grid. What? What are you? What?
I didn't say
Do you not?
nothing.
Do you not agree that? Do you not agree that that's not his best opportunity? That's
I
all I
didn't
said.
say anything.
All I said was that's his best opportunity. I didn't say he's going to win it. I said that's his
I,
best
I
opportunity.
didn't say anything. I didn't say anything.
I definitely heard a little grunt over there. Um, but let's go ahead and rate this race. This is tough because I feel like the racing was like track position was important. Like it was pretty hard to pass, but at the same time, there's a lot of drama in this race. So I feel like you have to go more towards the drama than the actual on track product. So for that, I think I'm gonna go like a ooh, I think I'm gonna go like a 8.5 out of 10. I'll just go with that 8.5 because of all the drama that was on track today. But Matthew, if you have any comments about the playoff grid, like your little smirk over there earlier, or rating the race, go ahead and tell everybody that before we go ahead and finish this video up.
One, you gotta stop looking at me because I wasn't smirking, first of all. Anyways, um, I'm gonna give this race an 8 out of 10. What a great race it was! Amazing strategy, amazing drama that happened. I have to give it an 8 out of 10. And as for the playoffs right now, what a run by Ty Gibbs. He's had a rough couple weeks, and he was able to get his first top 5 in his career today. He was absolutely very impressive. And if, he can have something similar at Richmond where Toyotas are super good at Richmond, I guess still has a shot to make the playoffs, I feel like. So we'll see. But great run by him. I just want to note that out.
All right, well, and as for our fantasy points update, it was actually a really close week for once. You beat me by 3 points. We were both very close with our points, and obviously the massive gap is still there overall. But I think that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this video. Richmond is next week. Unfortunately, neither of us will be there. I have season tickets, but I'll be out of town. Matthew's doing stuff as well, so that'll be my first. It'll be the first time in a while one of us isn't at Richmond, which is kind of sad. But we should be going to Martinsville later in the fall, so that should hopefully make up for it. But anyways, Matthew, do you have any other closing thoughts before we go ahead and finish this video up?
Let's see. I I don't think so, but yeah. What a weekend it was, and I mean, I would love to go to Pocono one day. I just feel like the atmosphere there is it's such an amazing atmosphere from what I can hear at Pocono. I would love to go to that track someday. So that's one of the tracks I haven't been to. That's on the bucket list. So I think you and I got to go up there one day.
Yeah, I saw like a comparison of like an overhead shot of Pocono, and it was like 2019 compared to this year. And like the infield, there were way more people in the infield, and the crowd in the stands was way bigger. So very glad for that. Love to see racetracks grow in their, camping and grandstand seating and all that kind of stuff. Love seeing those numbers go up. But yeah, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this video. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you guys stay tuned to our social media pages throughout the rest of the summer, because uploading videos will kind of be up and down over the next few weeks. But we appreciate you guys tuning into this video. We hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and we will see you guys in our next video.